Okay, this is how you would have received the kit for the round ornaments. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm actually not going to really use anything that's in here. I'm just going to show you how we make these ornaments. And you saw examples at the show of what they look like. So I feel like most people have a pretty good idea and could figure it out. So you got a nice piece of spun cotton in here, some scraps, 3 options for borders. There's this garland, there's this ribbon, and then there's this evergreen chenille. There's 3 discs that have paper backing on them, and then just cardboard showing on this side. I did put backs on them though. And then there's some things to decorate with. Oh, there's the paper that tells you how to get to my YouTube channel. Here's some little ribbon banners. This is mica glitter. This is actually mica that I ground in a coffee grinder. And it's really extraordinary. I like it so much better than just a regular glitter that you might get at the craft store, just because of the effect that you get. Inside this bag, there are some beads and snowflakes and flowers and leaves and other little bits and pieces. These could be scraps from broken ornaments, from trims that just a little bit were left over, or something that you find, or a necklace or a piece of jewelry that breaks and that you keep a pretty part of it. All of that could work on these ornaments. So, what to do with all of this? Well, the first thing that I do is I take the spun cotton. I'm going to move this over because this is our kit. I have another disc here, and I'm going to show you, first of all, this spun cotton. You can stretch it, you can make it as thin as you like, all right? And actually a little bit thinner is kind of a good idea. What you're going to do with this is cut out a circle. And I'm going to go ahead and do that because this one's for the purpose of the video. This isn't part of this kit. It doesn't have to be perfect. This, again, stretches and squishes, and it's not like cutting a piece of fabric or anything. All right. What you're going to create then with this piece of cotton is kind of your snowy background. For that, I'm really going to recommend using a tacky glue, like Eileen's tacky glue, or even just Elmer's or a white glue to glue this down. And then you want to glue this onto this disc with the backing obviously on the back. This brings up a good point that I sort of forgot. Things that you need to do this that aren't in the kit are a white glue, hot glue, scissors, and I think that's it. So the cotton you're definitely going to want to glue on with white glue. Next would be your trim piece, and that I'm going to recommend using the hot glue gun just because it's faster. It's sometimes hard to get these. You can use the white glue for this. I mean, you could definitely put a bead of white glue around, get this in, get it to stay. But if you use the hot glue gun, you're really going to get it to, So then you're going to end up, we'll use this one. You're going to end up with something like that. We've white glued the cotton on. We've hot glued the trim around. This trim that's in your kit, you can do a couple of different things. You can fold this. It's got a wire in it, and you can put it on like that. Or what I've done is, see those two seams down the middle? I've just cut right down the center of that, and then I have two, right? And I'll do just half of it around there. And then this, obviously, if you want that greenery effect. All right, so you got that. Now, what you're going to do, or what I'll do, is take some more of this glue, mix this with a little bit of water to make it thinner, or you could use Mod Podge, like the matte Mod Podge, or a little bit watered down white glue, okay? Paint over your cotton. And one thing that I do with that, when I make that mixture, I put a little bit of coffee or maybe a drop of a brown or a coppery paint in there, and stir that in just to tint it, just to give it a little bit of a vintage tint, and just paint over that glue. Okay, that's going to make your cotton, when you do it, your cotton's going to want to move around. So you can tap and paint, okay? But you want to paint this with a sort of vintagey tinted, or if you don't want that sepia tone effect, and you want this to be white, but it does help sort of, the cotton gets thin and you can see some of the cardboard behind. So if you do that tinted glue, just paint it all over the top. Take your mica when this is still wet, and you don't need very much, just a couple pinches, and go ahead and put it in and press it into that glue, okay? Now what you're gonna get is, and you saw finished ones at the show, maybe you bought a finished one. I had a few that I had made for sale. You get this nice sort of latte colored look with this vintagey mica glitter looking all snowy and stuff on there, and it's beautiful. Now, you got to look at what your subject's going to be, right? So you'll have stuff that I selected. You may or may not want to use it. Maybe you want to find your own images, or maybe you want to do I don't know, a cutout of a Christmas card that you really loved, or that you want to keep the image of. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. There's images in here for you to practice with and to make these with. I would think this time I'm going to put this lynx. Look at his big long ears. This cat in a suit. I like weird things. So I'm going to put him off to the side maybe. Okay. And then I'm not going to glue him on yet. I'm just going to start figuring things out. This ribbon is great. You can actually cut this in half and have two, right? Or you can squish it smaller. You can stretch it out. It's got lots of wires in it. So maybe I make a banner this way and put it like that. And then I bring my well-dressed cat in there. Now with these pieces, you can use the hot glue or the white glue. It depends. The tacky glue is really going to have great longevity. The hot glue will too. These are interior things, but I've found with hot glue, especially if you use a low temp gun, that extreme temperatures, hot or cold, when it's in storage, maybe it gets really hot in the summer or really cold in the winter, that glue then might fail, after a while. The tacky glue won't, but it's up to you. It doesn't matter either way. So I'm going to do that. And then in this bag, from what I'm seeing here, I think I would maybe pull out a couple of these glass beads. I like to do things in threes. Odd numbers have more power. So maybe I put 3 little beads on there. And this bag has some little gold bells and snowflakes in it. You know, it depends. You can add that. You could put a bell there. You can do as much or as little as you like. Now, unfortunately, I hope you haven't been making this as we go along, because I did skip a step. Fair warning, I might I might go backwards. I'm not going to read video this. There's a wire in this bag. This isn't super essential. You could always do this later, but when you glue on your cotton, I like to bend this wire this way, like that, all right? I might take a piece of paper, maybe even this paper that told you to come to this channel that's in the bag, or take a piece of the bag itself, right? And put a little hot glue on there, put that paper over the, glue it over the top, okay? Then put your white glue on, then put your cotton on, okay? And then you've got a little hanger. You could also not use these wires that I put in here, and you could use just one of the wire hooks, the Christmas ornament hook. That works too. Anyway, that's it. So once this all dries, and you've made your little composition, you've got this beautiful, beautiful mica glitter snowy background and an interesting composition. Now you did, if you remember, well, you will remember, with everyone who bought kits at the show, I did give them a few pieces of these woodcuts that were done by Scott Lyon that I got from him over the last couple of years. I think everybody who purchased from me got 4 or 5 of these. That adds another layer of dimension if you want to put one of those on. And you can get these from him. His Etsy shop is called The Pork Chop Show. So he's got lots of things available on there. That's another thing to add. And then anything else you think of. But that's it. That's what this ornament is. Have fun, experiment with it. I would suggest laying things out, kind of like we did in this example, not gluing anything down until you really get to what a design that you like or composition that you like, and then make them. There's enough stuff in each kit to make 3 of these ornaments, and then you'll have to be on your own if you want to make more. I would say use one of these discs before you make all the ornaments as a pattern, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can make a circle out of a jar lid or this a ribbon roll or whatever, and that's that. All right, have fun making that one. Stay tuned for, or not stay tuned, but be sure to go find the other 2 videos that show you how to make the other 2 kits.